We're going fishing here. We're going to go fishing in the Indian River Lagoon. We're going to, because of the way the wind is today, we've got pretty windy conditions out here on the Indian River Lagoon. Got some stiff winds blowing out of the southeast. And the way our coastline is configured, it runs like from a southeast to northwest slant. If you really look at a map and compare it to what true north is, you know, we run it like about a 45-degree angle to true north, almost due northwest. And so when we get a southeast wind, it just shoots right up the lagoon. Well, the lagoon, in a lot of places in this part of the Treasure Coast, from like Stewart up through Fort Pierce to about North Causeway, it's about a mile and a half wide. When you get up to Vero Beach and through the Vero Beach area, it gets narrower in some spots up there. Actually, just north of 17th Street Bridge, it starts to get a little narrower, but then it widens out again once you get to Bassin, Sebastian, and Grant. The lagoon is very shallow, but when we get the windy conditions like this, it can make fishing a little tricky. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to fish a leeward spot, mainly so we can give you some instructional tips more than anything. Just makes it a little easier to talk, a little easier to give you some ideas what's going on. Let's go fishing. We're here at Bear Point, which is one of the mosquito impoundments in St. Lucie County. These mosquito impoundments, there's a bunch of them in the three-county area. They're right here on the Indian River Lagoon, and they're designed for a variety of purposes. One is to control mosquitoes. The way they control it with tidal flow, moving the water in and out of these basins. And right now the pumps are on, so they're pumping water from the lagoon into these basins that they've created. The basins are like these natural habitat areas. You got mangroves. Like I said, it's the salt water coming in here right from the lagoon. The pumps are carrying it right across this roadway area. The roadways act as the barrier that create the impoundment basin. The great thing about St. Lucie County, Martin County, Indian River County is they've created these areas, especially St. Lucie County, they've created these areas for public use also. So the public has access to these lands and these waters. You really can't do anything in the basin water sports wise, but certainly outside the basin you've got full access to the lagoon right from shore here, which is great. You can kayak fish, you can wade fish, you can fish from shore, you can crab, you can do any kind of water sports whatsoever. And these places, a lot of these places have accesses to that point. Some of these places even have piers. You can turn and look over there. Actually, this is Bear Point. Bear Point's got a nice big pier. There's a couple other ones, about probably 3 or 4 other facility, these impoundment basins that also have piers that stick out into the lagoon that give the land-based angler an opportunity to get farther out into the waters to catch snook trout, redfish, tarpon jacks, bluefish, ladyfish, whatever. Just so happens that with the wind blowing from the southeast and east today, the west side of the lagoon is all chopped up and murky. This side of the lagoon has stayed pretty calm. You've got clear water. You can see the bottom right in here, nice and easy. There's tons and tons of mullet in here. There's pelicans diving on them. There's jacks and stuff hitting every once in a while. You'll see an explosion of mullet. But when it comes to these impoundment basins, what's great about them is it creates this water. As the pumps are on, the water is churning up in here. There's a bunch of small fish in here, small tarpon, small snook, redfish, trout, jacks, ladyfish, just about anything, all kinds of sport fish. So what I like to do when I come by here and I find the pumps are on, they're on a cycle. You can actually get the timing of them if you spend enough time out here. But I like to come out here and cast a few times when I see the pumps are on. Sometimes when the water's moving, you get a little more feeding activity from some of the fish in here. So I'm gonna make a couple casts and we're gonna walk down to the pier. I'm just going to cast it out and let the current carry the shrimp out to the bottom. Once it's on bottom, I'm just going to give it a couple twitches with the rod tip. Not much. Like I said before, I'm using braided line, so if I move the rod tip 8 or 9 inches, it's going to move the jig 8 or 9 inches. There's so much current, the jig's actually floating on the surface right now. Come on, take it. It's like, what are you doing? Just bump. You're not even bumping it. It's like just like laying next to it. Just eat this thing. The porcupine fish doesn't want it. You know something's wrong with it. That is a fish. It came back again. God, what kind of fish is that? Baby triple tail would be awesome. Oh, come on, come on, come on. It's right there by the piling. That stupid porcupine fish is back. That'd be crazy to hook something. That'd almost make a video.
One of the goals of the show.
Oh, it is? I had no idea. So it's fishing with Ed, not catching with Ed. Of course, I love casting downwind. It makes you look like a casting superstar. I can cast a mile. No, you can't. The wind's carrying it. Oh, okay. Well, folks, there you have the first episode of Fishing with Ed. If you stuck around through the end of the episode, really appreciate you hanging in there that long. If you're expecting to see a fish, sorry if I disappointed you. As you can tell, I write about fishing a lot more than I'm actually able to spend time on the water. Future webisodes of this, we're going to have a lot of experts from the area we're going to fish with. We're going to spend some time with guys. We're going to do a little wade fishing. We're going to do some fishing from inlets and jetties. We're also going to fish a little from surf. Maybe even do a little shark fishing. So we should see some pretty cool things you can do right here on the Treasure Coast. Easy, accessible, cheap. That's kind of like where we're going with this whole series. So hopefully we can teach you a thing or two. And by all means, send us an email at ed.keller@scripps.com. You can find all our contact information at tcpalm.com and contact me or my editors and let us know what you think about this series. Whether you like it, don't like it, what we can do differently, and what you can suggest. Also, if you're looking for fishing coverage in between, tcpalm.com and Scripps Treasure Coast newspapers have all the fishing coverage on the Treasure Coast you could possibly want and more. We have a fishing report 7 days a week. We also have a fishing newsletter we send out by email every Thursday, direct to your inbox. And we also have, you also hear me on the radio on WTTB, 1490 AM in Vero Beach every Friday morning at 8:30 AM on the Morning Magazine show with Bob Seuss. So until then, we'll see you on the water. Well, folks, like any fishing show, we always stick through it to the end, no matter how boring it is, to see what fish the host actually caught. Well, I just wanted to show you. Here it is. I caught a fish. Right here. Fried, square, cheese, and as usual, lots of tartar sauce. So there's your fish.